singing to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, this the time we move around. No Gimmicks podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring, this is the time for no gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State divine. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit. What's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on. That's the time. Guarantee we move. You know how we respond. The state is mine. The state design when we feel it.
What is up, you miscreants and scallywags? The hiatus is over. No Gimmicks is back. It is I, Black Mac, and my co-host, the fabulous one, Frank D. Welcome back. How you feeling?
Sir, I'm feeling great here on the high ground. How about yourself?
The high ground, huh?
That's right. Where we get high. No, I'm just...
Yeah, man, we got a good show for you guys tonight. Oh, we got some shit to talk about. We've been gone for a minute, and since we've been gone, y'all decided to clown and act a fool. Well, tonight it's going to be one of them shows. We got to correct the course. But before we do that, shout out to Cons Custom Creations. Follow her on IG at Cons_Custom Creations. Follow us on the Patreon if you are listening to the sounds of our voices and not watching us live. That Feeling Podcast at patreon.com/That Feeling Podcast. You can tune in to us. Also, outside of this, we have our own website now, thedfpn.com. No Gimmicks has their own site within the site. So go to thedfpn.com/no-gimmicks, and you will find us there every time we drop a new show. But it is a pleasure to be back, man. We got some shit to talk about tonight. What is up, Mac, aka your boy? We see you in the comments. Thank you for tuning in on the Patreon. Appreciate you. Tune in because this one may go off the rails for a minute. but let's get into it. We had a new trailer drop while we were on hiatus. The Acolyte. What's your excitement level, man?
I don't have any excitement level about the Acolyte. I have none whatsoever. So this is probably going to go down in history of Star Wars as the most ratioed trailer of all time. It has way more dislikes than likes, and a lot of people originally were excited for this show, excited for a show to see the other side of the spectrum here, the story of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? We want to see that. But as more and more stuff started to come out, as far as the showrunner, which is Leslie Hedman, and for y'all who don't know who she is the former personal assistant to one convicted rapist, Harvey Weinstein. So right there's a red flag for me, okay? And just all her identity politics that she wanted to insert into the story, instead of saying, you know something, I'm proud to be doing a Star Wars story. I'm proud of the accomplishments of Lucasfilm. We want to take this to a whole new different, none of that. It's all been a bunch of bullshit. So am I excited for it? No, sir. When the Acolyte starts, that's when I will venture into watching Andor. So that's my opinion on that at the moment. And by the way, for those people listening right now, to the fabulous one, the Emperor himself, they already ruined the fucking show by telling you already what it's going to be about. And you're probably saying to yourselves, well, Frankie, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. So on X, formerly Twitter, Disney released a trailer for The Acolyte. And they already gave away the plot of the entire show. The Amanda Steinberg, the actress who's the non-binary. Well, she's playing dual roles in the show. She's playing herself and she's playing her sister. Her sister is the one that's killing the Jedi. The big twist has been revealed. Thank you.
No, I saw that.
Thank you for ruining.
I just
Thank
saw
you for
that.
ruining it already because I didn't want it to succeed to begin with, Disney. So you just helped us out. Thank you very much.
I just saw that. That's ridiculous. But spoilers aside, agenda aside, you don't think this will be a good story?
No.
Hmm.
It's if you want to see The Matrix meets Star Wars, well, it'll probably be a good story for you. But for someone like myself, no, not at all. But that's not telling anybody out there, hey, don't watch the show. Watch the show if you want. Enjoy the show if you want to. But if you're asking me if I'm excited for it, if I'm going to watch it, no, I'm not. And I mean what I'm saying because how long did I hold out before I watched Solo, a Star Wars story? A long time.
Yeah, but you ended up liking Solo too, though.
I'm not gonna like the acolyte.
Is that bad for you?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's strong. That is strong because it's Sith.
Yeah, but is it really though?
We don't know that yet. We haven't watched the show.
Is it really? Is it really? Let's just be honest about this. You know, it kind of contradicts episode 1, Phantom Menace.
How so?
Didn't they say in the Phantom Menace that there's been a Sith around for a millennium? That's what he said. So basically, they're already telling you this show here, The Acolyte, no one survives because they didn't see any Sith until they saw Maul. So, you know, Yoda has to be somewhere in this show. I hope they don't mess around with him too much. That means that Yoda would have to have kept this a secret and not said a damn thing about anything. Kept it to himself.
Yeah, if Maul was around, then some activity was happening.
But Maul wouldn't be around at this time frame.
How far is this set before episode 1?
I think they said it's about 100 years before episode 1. So, Palpatine's still a child.
God damn. Okay. I can get with that.
Yeah.
Who would have been?
If that hasn't been around at that time?
Yeah, Darth who would have been around?
So around this time frame, it's Darth Tenebrous who's around.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah. So like I said before, if people out there are excited to see the show, more power to you. It's just not for me. Just like I liked certain episodes of Ahsoka, but a lot of people didn't like Ahsoka. I liked certain episodes of Obi-Wan, but a lot of people did not like Obi-Wan. That's just how it goes, man. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
It's hit. But that's the thing. Star Wars as a whole lately has been hit or miss. More miss than hit.
Why is that?
It doesn't. You could blame that on agenda, but I just don't think the stories have been that great.
Well, that's what I go back to. Okay. So if you go back to, let's say, Obi-Wan, okay, very excited about Obi-Wan because it was the return of Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. So This is where the story was going to go. And unfortunately, you inserted a third character in here, Reva, the Inquisitor, who had an agenda. She was trying to get to Vader because of Vader killing the younglings during Order 66. Mm-hmm. So you took the focus off of Obi-Wan and Vader. And then the first 2 episodes were slow because you showed Obi-Wan working or going back to his cave, going back to the cave. You're putting the focus on the Inquisitor. There is no Vader yet. Obi-Wan is running around with Leia when he should be on Tatooine with Luke. It's just a lot of shit didn't make any sense for the show. The only time it picked up is when you had Vader. Now, if they had done just simply a show with Vader and the Inquisitors, with this certain Inquisitor, Reva, trying to kill Vader, that would have been different. It probably been more accepted because it's just a show about the Inquisitors and this specific Inquisitor who used to be a Padawan that wants to now kill Vader, and she doesn't survive.
Yeah, but you had that same kind of issue in Ahsoka too, to where the focus wasn't entirely on Ahsoka. When it was,
Well,
it was good.
Yeah, but you gotta look at Ahsoka too, because Ahsoka essentially it's just it's an offshoot of Star Wars Rebels. So, and that's where a lot of people couldn't get into Ahsoka, because if you didn't watch Rebels, you didn't know anything about these characters.
Right.
And
But at the
Sabine
same
and Ezra and all these different people.
right. At the same token, though, like the show is Ahsoka, so the focus wasn't entirely on her. Now, if you want to call it an offshoot of Rebels, if you want to do a continuation of Rebels, I think that would have been accepted too, just like in the case of Obi-Wan. But the focus wasn't entirely on Ahsoka during that, and that's one of the issues I had with it. I get you want to call back to Rebels, I get that, but name the show Rebels then, because the focus wasn't entirely on Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, it was all about Ahsoka finding Ezra. That was the entire point of it. And that goes back to when Ahsoka first appeared in The Mandalorian, along with Morgan Elsbeth, and trying to
Right.
find Thrawn. So there's a lot of continuity there that they were building off of. And then you had the other characters into the show, which was Baylan Skoll, and then you have Shin Hati as well. And then you bring in Anakin Skywalker, which is one of Ahsoka's big things was Skywalker, because she carried that around with her, because she have stopped him from going to the dark side. And they
Right.
explored that in Shadow Warrior.
Right.
So there was a lot. To me, there's honestly a lot more to love about Ahsoka and Obi-Wan than there is the Acolyte. And I'm pretty sure when the Acolyte drops and people see what it is, okay, then you'll determine it then. But right now, the problem why everything that they put out for Star Wars is not successful, unless it's from the original 6 that George created, is because the brand is so tarnished at this point. They put out so many bad shows, so many bad movies. You have completely obliterated the fan base to the point now where every time they put something out, people are going to automatically dislike it. They're going to automatically say this sucks. They're going to, and the actors don't make it any better. When the actors are saying stupid shit, instead of going out there putting over your show, putting over and saying, I'm proud to be doing a Star Wars show. You have real, genuine love for the brand. You're not showing that. You're just saying, oh, well, I'm happy that someone with my skin color can be in Star Wars finally. Bunch of stupid bullshit that no one cares about. So they wonder, why are we failing? How come we're not making any money? Why did we buy this intellectual property from George Lucas for $4.2 billion? No, he made back $1.2 billion. Have never drawn any money from this. It's because of your dumb bullshit. And once they get their head out of their asses and get back on track, which is what the plan is, to get back on track, they got some things planned here. We'll see what happens. But they got to get faith back in the consumer, faith back into the fan base in order to support these projects. May the 4th, okay? I went to an event here in San Antonio. It was at Heroes and Fantasies.
Mhm.
I dressed up as Darth Vader for that event. And I had fun. It was a blast to go out there, and everybody was excited for May the 4th. It was great. But we were all talking about the old shit, okay? But you had people there as Ahsoka. You had people dressed up there as Rey, okay? They exist. People like that shit, but they exist in small doses because the brands have been just you've completely just messed up the fan base.
Is that not
over.
nostalgia? Sorry. Is that not nostalgia, or is that for lack of refreshing new content?
What it comes down to is you look at what sells. What sells is Luke Skywalker sells, C-3PO sells, R2-D2 sells, Darth Vader always sells, Anakin Skywalker sells, Leia sells, Han Solo, Chewbacca, everything from the original. Nostalgia or not, everything that's old is once again new. We saw that recently with the blue milk and how that's in the stores. We're seeing that now. That's going to be coming with the Star Wars Oreos that are about to be dropped, which is the blue for the blue for the light side, red for the Sith. Who was on that? Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. They're putting Mark Hamill's back as Luke Skywalker, about to be affiliated here. George Lucas is back, affiliated with Star Wars.
Yep, that was going to be my lead in. So Lucas is back?
Is back.
That was the big rumor.
Lucas is back. So I told you, now everybody's catching on here. The mainstream is starting to catch on here to what's going on. And I told you in a private message about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said George was back.
Yep.
I said George is back. I said George has been at the San Francisco offices of Lucasfilm working on something. Nobody knows what he's working on, but he is there. And rumor has it that he could have something to do here with the Mandalorian Grogu film. We also know that Mark Hamill is back as Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is going to have a major role in the films moving forward. They are pushing the nostalgia train, if you want to call it that. They're pushing that now. Okay, they released a video. Disney did release a video celebrating May the 4th. And you know what was missing from that video on May the 4th? Anything from the sequel trilogy was not in that video. That video consisted of the prequels. It consisted of the original trilogy. It consisted of shots of the Acolyte. It consisted of the animation from over the years, the Clone Wars, Rebels, and it consisted of the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, all of that stuff. Nothing for the sequel trilogy. No Rey, no Kylo Ren, no Finn, no Poe. None of these characters.
Now, yeah, because people shot on it. But people shot on the original, the prequels. People shot on them too. It took people years to accept them shits, bro.
Absolutely. But there's no way in hell they're going to accept these movies. These movies are not going to age well as the prequels did or the original trilogy. And it shows that because at the movie theater, The Phantom Menace made almost $30 million at the theater when it was re-released.
Right.
Now, how does a movie that came out 25 years ago make $30 million? Meanwhile, Disney has put all these releases from Disney Plus in the theaters, and they have not drawn anything. Why is that? And The Phantom Menace wasn't even that good of a film. I mean, The Phantom Menace has its parts, but it drew because people now are going to be on their Star Wars journey, and they want to start episode 1.
Yeah,
and they want to keep going. But the mere fact of they went to the theater and saw it, and Disney saw this, like, oh shit, these people like this original content. They don't like what we're doing. Just like next year, they're going to re-release Revenge of the Sith, which is going to be big.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that, but that's what I'm saying. Like those first prequel movies, bro, when they came out, people shot on them heavy, right. Especially episode 1. So it's kind of surprising now that it is getting a lot of love. It really is surprising because one of the biggest gripes was episode 1, and it almost killed the prequels because people hated that movie so much. But it's kind of like if you go back to what episode 9 was. Episode 9. Like people shot on episode 9, and it probably hurt them. But I'm wondering how far, if we go into the future, if that will ever be accepted. Because I didn't think episodes 1 through 3 would ever get accepted. And I thought Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were 2 great movies. that didn't get a lot of love because of the first one.
So, what it comes down to is you look at the prequels and you look at episode 1 and if you say, well, what's the cool thing about episode 1? Well, the cool thing about episode 1 was Darth Maul, seeing Maul, seeing young Anakin Skywalker. That was a big draw there, and just knowing the backstory of this little kid would then one day grow up to be the baddest dude in the universe. Yeah. That there, and I watched a lot of people's reactions on YouTube when they're watching these films, and the consistency of, okay, I like episode 1, and it picked up in episode 2. I really don't know. I think that Palpatine guy, I don't know. It's just something about him that I don't trust. I mean, I think he's that guy. That's what I get a lot of it. And then when they see episode 3, and when it all comes together, that story that they've been building comes together, you're like, shit, that's the reaction you want.
Yeah.
You didn't get that. You don't get that when you're watching the sequel trilogy. I went and saw those 2 movies. I saw The Force Awakens in the theater, The Last Jedi in the theater. The Last Jedi is where it fell off because J.J. Abrams moved out, Rian Johnson moved in, changed everything, messed everything up. He basically said he wanted to make a divisive movie. And right there, you split the fan base because no one liked it. They did not like the butchering and the damage that was done to Luke Skywalker. Didn't like it. They left and didn't come back. And they didn't come back because it's been revealed recently that they made no money on those movies. That was a big thing during the proxy battle, a few months ago. It was Disney was saying how much they made on Star Wars and blah, blah, blah. And it comes out they were full of shit because they did not. Yeah, that's funny. Those UK tax filings is a bitch because it tells you everything you need to know about the movies.
True.
Solo was $90 million negative.
Yeah, but Solo, a lot of people crap, and this is what I'm saying. Before those movies came out, before Solo came out especially, people crapped on Solo. But Solo is actually one of the better movies.
Solo was a failure. Solo was a failure because of the failure of the last. So I'm telling you why it was a failure. Solo was a failure because of the failure of The Last Jedi. After that, they did not fuck with it anymore.
Yeah,
the only 2 films that they done at Disney that I will say were good films, watchable, was The Force Awakens and Rogue One. And that was pre-Last Jedi. So anything after Last Jedi suffered because of The Last Jedi. So Solo came out after The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it did.
That was it. That's why. So and I watched the movie and I liked the movie. But that movie got buried because of the failures of The Last Jedi. And just the failures that keep coming with the rise of Palpatine, pretty much, after that. So this is kind of where we're at right now, which is why there has not been a Star Wars film since, 2019 or some shit? We haven't had one.
Yeah, but there hasn't been a demand for a Star Wars film either. Especially because you had the TV shows too. But if we're being fair, a lot of people wanted Obi-Wan to be a movie and not a television show.
Obi-Wan was originally supposed to be a movie.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a TV show. And that's another problem they have. So the moment that things don't start going right for Obi-Wan, Disney starts this bullshit campaign of here comes a racist. Here comes a racial shit.
What was racist about Obi-Wan?
Oh, I'll tell you, because they wanted to paint it as because people were shitting on the show because of Moses Ingram. That's not why people were shitting on the show. They were shitting on the show because of the character of her placement on the show, not the woman. So when you tell the fan base, Ewan McGregor, that they're not real fans, okay, so why are you coming back now trying to get people to support you for season 2 of Obi-Wan? You turn out the fan base.
Some of that was great with Moses Ingram. Some of that was great. Not all of that was placement.
They told her that they expect something like that to happen. because we can plan these things to happen. They have bots that can push it out there.
That's true too, but there could be some
Absolutely.
real people behind that shit too.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. If I'm a guy telling you in the color of my skin, and I'm telling you that all these people right now fighting for DEI bullshit, they don't look like you or me. So thank you for fighting for me. Thank you for fighting for me so badly that you had them change Aunt Jemima syrup to Pearl, whatever the fuck it is that they changed it to. Thank you.
Who fucking cares? It's syrup. It comes out that shit don't even come out of a tree.
Doesn't matter. I grew up on Aunt Jemima.
Don't matter. It's syrup. And that's part of the shit though. Like
no, part of the shit is you're fighting for the wrong shit that has nothing to do with you.
But that's what I'm saying.
What black person do you know complaining about fucking Aunt Jemima? What black person was complaining about it? Nobody. Who changed it? Why did they change it?
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if it's not one agenda, it's the other. So why can't it just be give us a good show?
Why can't it just be give me my fucking syrup?
Man, fuck that syrup.
We told you, people. This is gonna be one of those shows.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if the shit good, then fuck what the name is. Is it good? Yes.
I will fuck with Mrs. Butterworth from now on.
And even Mrs. Butterworth, they reduced the ass on her. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
More slender. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Who fucking cares?
I care.
Get honey, goddammit.
You want that big booty syrup bottle?
I mean, I ain't complaining about it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, is it good? Then fuck it.
I don't know.
Oh man. But yeah, man. As a whole, I just want Star Wars to be good. That's it.
As a whole, I'm with you, sir. I would just like people to stop with your agendas. Just make entertainment. I don't need to know about any of this other bullshit that I don't care about. I don't give a shit. That's just what it is. I don't care. Not my business. Not my business. That's all I'm saying. It's not my business. Just make a fucking story. This is the reason why the future is people like myself that create content that's independent, that create content ourselves, because we can then tell the stories that we want to tell. There's a Vader movie or a Vader fan film right now on YouTube that's damn near at 400,000 views. That's blowing up. And it's because it's staying to the story. That's making it correct. And you're twisting the story and you're doing it your way, but you're telling a good story.
How many views?
Not damn near 400,000.
What's the name of it?
You put me on the spot here. See. It is called Vader, Pull to the Light, a Star Wars fan film. It has 338,000 views. It was released 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, man, I just give me a good story. I can give a fuck about agenda and all that shit. Make the story good, man.
Yeah, make the story good. Give me back Aunt Jemima on the fucking syrup bottom. We're all good.
My God. All right, man, let's move on.
Yeah, let's do
that. let's go into what happened to the WWE, specifically after The Rock left, because it was so much buzz in the air. There was so much excitement. WrestleMania 40 came and went. Rock left, and I'll be honest, man, it hasn't been as good. It has not been as good.
Very, very simple, my friend. We were on the road to WrestleMania. You had Roman there. You had The Rock there. You had a very compelling story. It was a story of Cody Rhodes finishing that story. The Rock is the final boss. All of that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, when they did this and pulled the trigger, WWE had a really big problem that they didn't realize they had until all the shit was over with. You had no opponents for Cody Rhodes. You built no one up for Cody Rhodes. So what do you put in? Yeah, you plug an AJ Styles in here. You're gonna plug a Logan Paul in there. Okay, nothing against these two. Well, I don't like Logan Paul, so nothing against AJ Styles, but Logan Paul is not the guy. So that's why there's no. That's why there's no interest here, because Cody is just. It's not you're not. You finished the story and now you're fighting like mid carders. No disrespect to AJ Styles, but you're fighting mid carders or upper mid carders. That's what you're doing. There's no off about it. There's nothing
I'm
going
gonna
on here.
agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you there. But on the same breath, what I'm about to say is gonna sound really fucking crazy. Roman Reigns did a lot for the guy that he was facing. It's apparent now because Cody can't do that.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter who Roman was facing. Every fucking match he had meant something. Maybe because he wasn't there all the time. I don't know that either. But the fact that every event that he was in and he put the title on the line, people like to give that a lot of bullshit, a lot of flack, like he didn't defend it as much. But goddamn, every match he had was big. It was an event.
Right.
And we're seeing it now with Cody. Like Backlash France, fucking amazing pay-per-view. It really was an amazing pay-per-view. But it kind of felt like once that pay-per-view was over, that's where the fun stopped. Because now you had him versus AJ, not really built up or anything, right? It's just I'm fighting AJ right after WrestleMania. That's my first title defense. Great match, but it's now we're at a point. It's like, then what? What are we doing next?
So
with Roman,
that's
it's like with Roman, it's like they had somebody in the chamber for him. And I don't know, I don't know if he did that himself or he was just that good at building people up. But with him, it's like this guy's next, and this guy's next, and this guy's next. And it didn't fucking matter who it was because the shit made sense. Nothing makes sense for Cody right now.
No,
like,
nothing.
You kind of need somebody to breathe down his neck, but who is that guy?
So where they messed up with this situation, to me, is the person that should have stepped up immediately and said, I want to fight this guy, should have been Solo. Because of the fact of what happened at WrestleMania.
Right.
But they took Solo into a whole other different direction. Now we're seeing, as I like to call it from what I'm looking at here, the death row mafioso bloodline that we're seeing here. Okay.
We'll get to that in a minute.
That's what we're getting at here.
Yeah.
But when you look at Backlash in France, the crowd made that show. That was the crowd. That's what made that show. If that show was held here in the United States with the WWE crowds we have now, where you have to pipe in every damn thing, that Thunderdome shit, it would not have been the same. The crowd
I'm gonna agree with you
made that show. The crowd made that show.
I agree
Jey
with you.
Uso's entrance. Jey Uso's entrance. Cody's entrance.
Randy Orton's entrance. Yes.
Those are some of the best things I have ever seen in the history of the pro wrestling business.
I'm going to agree with you there. I'm going to agree with you.
Especially Jey.
Jey Uso. I was like, oh, fuck, he's a star.
When he walked out,
I was like, oh my God, this guy he is a massive star right now.
Well, he's a star. But he's the star that can never win the big one. That's a problem.
That's a detriment.
You know, this reminds me of? This reminds me to Bada Bang DDP in WCW.
The People's Champion.
When he would wrestle like the main guys, Hogan, Goldberg, couldn't get it done.
You're right.
That's what it reminds me of.
You're right.
So
you are right.
That's why I see. You can't call a cat main event Jey Uso and he don't win. My sister, I sent a video to my sister. I say, hey, check out Jey Uso's entrance. And she says, hey, yeah, that entrance was fire. Did he win the match? No.
Nope.
Oh, he didn't win again?
Nope.
She's a casual. She says, oh, he didn't win again? Never wins. Like how much time, how many more times do they being WWE expect that you can continuously job Jey Uso out before the fans stop giving a shit about Jey Uso? And it's gonna happen.
Here's where
he's not like Calvin Nash.
No, he's not.
He's not like Calvin Nash where he can take a loss and it doesn't
and
hurt
be
him.
Strong still. Yeah, no.
Correct.
I'm gonna tell you where my this is it. And it was this past Monday or last night. And this was for the King of the Ring. I'm like, and I hated the matchup. And I said, bro, why is he facing Gunther? Because he's not gonna beat Gunther. Gunther is gonna be the man. Like, if you wanted that, put that shit in the finals. That's supposed to be a match in the finals. I don't know why they made that match, and I felt like that match hurt him because he's riding the stardom right now. He is a star, but losing to Gunther is going to be the man, and you know that. So if Gunther's going to be the man, then what are you going to be, Jey Uso?
You can't be main event Jey Uso and you lose all the time.
Right.
You can't be main event Jey Uso and you're not always in the main event. Defeats the purpose.
And it's stuff like that, and it's like, bro, what are y'all doing? First and foremost, I'm at a point now. I'm like, why they dropped the Intercontinental title from Gunther? Why they made him give it up? He hasn't really been in the main event scene other than last night. So you could have kept the title on him. Yeah, I get you want to have a fresh look, but you could have built so many more stories around Gunther because he's a fucking workhorse.
Yeah, and see, that's originally what I was afraid was going to happen, is that Gunther was going to get lost kind of in the shuffle. I'm not saying that he's lost in the shuffle, but he was going to lose some of his momentum. He could have went on. I've always said that the person that Gunther should have been going for, imagine him having a program with Cody where he could have came in and says, okay, I'm the Intercontinental Champion.
I wanted
the WWE Champion. I want to be a dual champion.
Yep.
So I'm going to wrestle you.
Perfect.
They could have gone down that route, but they didn't do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then whatever plans they could have had for Jey, that's kind of on a back burner right now because Jimmy got hurt.
Yep.
Which is obviously the only thing you can do at this point with Jimmy is you have to put him back with Jey. They're gonna finally do the God versus the Usos. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know that's coming. You know when Solo says that he talked to the tribal chief and he says, I'm in charge. You know he's not talking to Roman Reigns. The other person he's talking about here, obviously, is going to be The Rock. When The Rock comes back into this play. The Rock is the one calling the shots here. And I'm going to tell you how I know it's The Rock that's calling the shots here. Look at the way the Bloodline dresses. Remember when I said a while ago, when The Rock was there at the Bloodline, how
they're not bummy.
How he dressed, and look at the Bloodline, how they dress.
Yep.
Look at Solo now. Solo wearing basically business casual. Look at Tonga Loa, business casual. Tama Tonga, business casual. Yep. They kind of look like, kind of remind you of like the corporation a little bit.
Yep.
Who is that? That's The Rock. This is The Rock calling the shots here over Roman. He gave Roman every opportunity. He sacked the deck in Roman's favor, and Roman could not get the job done. And that's the story that they're going to tell moving forward here. Because Paul Heyman just asked Solo on Friday, he says, have you talked to him today? And Solo says, oh, yeah, I talk to him all the time. They didn't mention who him is.
Yep.
So it's obvious. Now, speaking of the Bloodline real quick, I must tell you, I am highly disappointed with Tama Tonga's current theme song?
As a whole, as a character, I'm disappointed with what they're doing with Tama Tonga.
Yeah, that I don't know what that Day of the Geechee shit he was doing the other day. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but yeah,
Stop that shit
yeah,
immediately.
yeah. Stop doing the bird calls or where the
Don't
fuck
do
it
that
is.
shit.
Yeah, don't do
Bro,
that.
the man
You
has
going back to the head
swag.
shrinker days or some shit?
Yep. He has swagger. God Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you have God in WWE right now. Let these guys run roughshod because they can. I don't like this shit. Like, I like the bloodline. I like them in the bloodline, but I don't like how they're being cast right now. They're badasses, bro. You got to let them be badasses.
Well, first of all, I agree with you on presentation. Only thing I saw with Tama, and Tama Tonga he just exudes fucking charisma. He just has it.
Man.
He looks like a star when he comes
Let
out
him
there.
be him.
The eyebrow raising when he comes out there and shit.
Yep.
The way he walks, gets on the stairs and gets in the ring, that's all Bullet Club, Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
Where's all the shit remember when he would come out to the ring, when he was coming out, he would, Too Sweet doing that shit he was doing. We need to see more of that.
Yes.
I want to hear guerrilla tactics. Or ain't nobody realer than gorilla. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to hear Death Rebel, you fucking suck. Oh my God. What in the blue balls fuckery kind of music did Brian Breaker come out to on Raw?
Bro, they need to hire somebody.
What
they need to hire
was
somebody.
that? My God.
This shit. The music ain't it. It ain't it. Especially Tama Tonga's music. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
He went from it, ain't nobody realer than gorilla, to this bullshit.
Like, come on, man.
And when he was coming out with Solo at Backlash, that theme fit. He's making it work.
Yeah.
Solo has some dope ass music.
I do. I like solos.
Yeah. So does Jay. But Jay's is nothing but the blueprint for that music was the CFOs.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
So does Jimmy. Jimmy has a cool song. Roman has a cool song. They're kind of hit and miss with their music. But they got more misses than they got hits.
You are correct on that.
Am I the only person that is not a fan of Liv Morgan?
You know what? I was gonna say no, but she kind of changed my mind. I like heel Liv Morgan. I do.
Man, listen. There is some bad females out there on the streets that will take her little ass and just fling her.
I mean, you're right.
She's just not believable. She's not believable. Like you're not believable as okay. Now you're a heel. You're not believable that you can whoop somebody's ass. Same thing with Becky Lynch. It ain't believable. Now, Shayna Baszler, she'll fuck you up.
Listen, her and Zoe Stark, like, I like them as a tag team, but again, we keep going back to this thing. Like, I like what you're doing, and I like who you're doing it with, but I don't like how you're presenting them. Like, there should be no tag team other than Jade and Bianca that should be able to fuck with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. That's point blank, period.
Yeah.
There should be zero team. Like, they should go in the ring, fuck these chicks up, leave. And then you build. This is how you build to a credible female tag team, women's tag team match, title match. Let these two girls beat the dog shit out of the rest of the division and then set up a match with Jade and Bianca and take my money.
Well, why is it, speaking of the ladies here, why is it that Nia Jax is not a part of the bloodline.
Well, I was hoping they did that when she went over to SmackDown. They haven't pulled the trigger yet, but
they need to.
They need to. I agree with you there. They need to.
That's one thing of the bloodline I felt was one of the missing elements of the bloodline story is that they did not have any female representation. So
you could even do Nia and Naomi as a tag team and have them in the bloodline.
But that wouldn't make any sense now because Jimmy's not in the bloodline anymore.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and I would put Nia in.
Nia would definitely be in there. But then there's also the Jacob Fatu situation. Him coming into the bloodline.
You don't know whose side he's going to be on. I would bet he'd be on Solo's side because he is a new guy.
Right. But the rumor has it, and this is just rumor, speculation, that the reason why they haven't brought Jacob in yet is because they're afraid that he is going to overshadow
Solo.
He
definitely will.
Oh, he will.
He definitely will.
That dude was cutting a promo. I don't know when it was, but he was talking about the bloodline. And this is around the time when the Usos were involved, and so you know it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he was one of the realest dudes I ever seen. And he said, he was in jail. He was in that thing, he did his shit or whatever, and he dropped. He said the B word. You know what I mean. He's from the streets. He said the B word. He dropped the B word. Forgot for a minute he was doing a wrestling promo, but you know what I'm saying. So he was. He's real, and they feel that he's gonna come in because Jacob Fatu is a nasty motherfucker. Bro, what I mean by that is he kind of harpens back to the old Samoan savage criminals, Samoan SWAT team.
He's that. That. He's like, I would say he's Umaga meets Alpha to me. He's got that athleticism of Umaga, but his presence is definitely Alpha. Like he commands the spotlight. So yeah, I heard that rumor too, and I kind of believe it.
I think we'll see Jacob probably show up. What are we at? He'll probably show up either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. I'm probably banking SummerSlam.
I would think SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yep. I would think SummerSlam.
And then Drew McIntyre and CM Punk continue to entertain. Damian Priest is starting to show why he's in the spot he's in. Starting to see a lot more Scott Hall swagger out of Damian Priest, which is good. I like the Carlito in the Judgment Day. I like that.
Do
That's
you?
Pretty cool.
I'm not sold on that one yet.
I kind of like it because it's giving Carlito something to do.
Okay.
Once again, don't like his music either.
Nope. And that's why I'm not sold on him in Judgment Day yet. Not yet.
Well, I think my thing, I am, because he's a fellow Baricua, so that's what it is.
Okay.
So is Damian Priest. Damian Priest is a Baricua as well.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there's more Latinos in fucking Judgment Day right now than there is in the LWO. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. All right, last topic. Let's go to the ugly. AEW.
Yeah.
So, recently scored their lowest rating.
That's right.
Attendance is down. I do see that they got a residency here at the Esports Arena here in Arlington, and they'll be doing that for the lead into All In. That made quite a few headlines. Actually, might be a good move. That arena is situated to seat 2,500 people.
Mm.
So we'll see how that goes. But year on year in, for Double or Nothing is down. The building is set up for 7,500. Last year they did 10,000. Year before that they've been 12,000. So gradual decline, man. How can they fix this shit? Because we're in a situation now to where I actually watched. I haven't been watching. I watched the past couple of weeks. The show isn't bad. They've made changes. They've allowed things to breathe a little more. The storylines are decent, but people just aren't messing with it. What do they need to do?
I don't really think at this point there's anything you can do. And the reason I say that is because I can honestly say right now, and I was a big fan of this promotion, there was nothing that was going to change the momentum for WCW either. There was nothing they could do. Because once you have the fan base completely lose interest in supporting your brand, there is no way to turn that around. And that's kind of the situation that AEW is in right now. You bet everything on getting rid of CM Punk, who was one of your draws. You got rid of CM Punk. You put all your faith into the elite, into the Young Bucks, and it's backfired on you. You touted playing this video from Wembley. Why? That video served you no good things at all. It's been a steadily, it's they were declining before this, but it's been a steady decline since they played that video. It's really turned a lot of people. They haven't been able to recover from that at all because you are presenting Jack Perry as supposed to be this big badass heel.
Yep.
When all I saw in that video was him getting bitch slapped by CM Punk. Now, how does that equate to this guy being a badass? Why? Because you grew a beard? You're a badass now? No, you're not. So that's what it is. And then, the Young Bucks, they're not believable. There is no believability at all with this faction. This faction, you're supposed to be what? Like the NWO? No chance in hell. Nothing. There's nothing there. Like that, the glory days of the promotion is gone. Now, when the NBA's over, they'll probably get some fans back, but it's too late. Unless they pull MJF out of their ass, and that's not going to really do anything. You're completely squandering Swerve and his title run.
I hate that.
That's another thing. Cody Rhodes and Swerve have the exact same thing in common. They got the belts put on them with no opponents ready for them. That's the issue.
Yeah.
So when you look at this, when you surmise this and looking at the bottom line, there is nothing they can do at AEW that's going to turn this ship around. They have got to win the goodwill back of the fans. And
how do they do that though? But
you can't do it. You can't do it because you've been exposed at this point. You've been exposed. You don't have any draws. You had something in Swerve, and that's fading away because you.
And the question that goes in my mind, and I actually thought about this last week, and I'm like, why would I want to watch a product that has so many negatives around it? Like, and that's the thing with AEW. There was so much negative. Even if there's a positive, it's going to be immediately followed by a negative in some form, because that's been the trend for the past couple of years. And I'm gonna pin this to when Cody left. When Cody left AEW, so many negatives started coming to this promotion that it's crazy. Like, they do good, something negative. They do good, something negative. Here is they got out of the last negative, which was the all-in thing, CM Punk leaving, and they shoot themselves in the foot by showing the footage. And it's like, why? And then after that, you got Tony Khan going to the NFL draft and saying what he said. And it's like, why would I want to watch this show if there's constantly something negative attached to it? And it at this point, I know a lot of people are comparing it to WCW 2001. And I'm like, bro, what do you need? Do you just need to leave America for a while? Run a European tour or something, and then come back and just get rid of the negative taste in everybody's mouth. But even if you do that, when you come back, there's gonna be something, because I feel like Tony Khan can't help himself sometimes.
You know,
he's got to be. It's like the kid. You know how like when a kid gets in trouble, and you're like, man, sit down, be good, shut the fuck up. And they'd be like, all right, cool. And then when you turn your back, they'd be like, bitch. I feel like that's what Tony Khan be doing, bro. Like, it's like.
So I think, to answer the question right quick, I believe I know how to fix it. So the way to fix this situation is simply remove Tony Khan as the booker. If they put a story out there that Tony Khan is no longer the one who is the creative driving force behind AEW, I think people would probably give it a second chance. But until that happens, it's not going to happen.
But, and you'll get to this point where, like, how do you really know that, right? But it's got to be booked to a sense where you don't feel like Tony's running the show, because that's the problem WWE had. But in the case of AEW, right, Tony ain't going no fucking where, not for the foreseeable future. So how do you book this?
Problem.
Yeah, and how do you book this to make it look like Tony's not in charge?
Well, here's the deal. You literally have to have Tony Khan. Tony Khan has to remove himself. But see, Tony Khan is too busy. Yeah, right. So I know. Tony Khan is too busy working for the niche, small audience that they have, instead of trying to get the casual audience.
Right.
And that's the problem. You're booking for the mark niche audience, the little small minority audience that you have. Meanwhile, WWE has the majority market share. And let's be honest about here. WWE is stale again. They're not hitting all cylinders right now. I'm pretty sure that's about to change, because I think The Rock might be getting free. So they got some stories to tell. They just got to get past this King and Queen of the Ring shit.
Right.
But when it comes to AEW, they're going to have to do a complete reset of the company. Tony Khan is going to have to bring in some people that can help with the booking, because right now people are just not fucking with it because of the stain, honestly, of Tony Khan. And they think it's a joke. That. It's the biggest joke in wrestling. People nowadays, look, if you're a professional wrestler and you get the opportunity to go to AEW, you're only going to AEW to get paid. That's it. But honestly, if you're a WWE wrestler, you go to AEW, you go there for your career to die. No different than when you were to be in the WWE and go to TNA, where careers died. You remember back in the day, there was a record company called Koch Records?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you were a rap artist and you went to Koch, pretty much you were on your last leg in the music industry. That's kind of what it is right now with AEW. AEW is Koch.
And that's wild, because that analogy actually, it tracks. But what I won't mind, and I don't mind you booking for the niche audience. I don't mind that. But if you're gonna do that, make the stories build stories into it. You can have your dream matchups. That's fine. But put me a little story on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something, give me a build up. Like, there's no reason Ospreay versus Danielson, which is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. there's no reason that match should not have had a build-up. You could have put a story together and built that shit up over the course of 3 months, and that would have been if that story would have been attached to that match, you're looking at an all-time great program.
So you know what that reminds me of? Ospreay and Danielson,
Hogan and Goldberg.
which correct. No build.
No
Announced
build.
it on Thunder. The match was that Monday. No build. That's
Yep.
what that reminds me of. WCW, they were so focused on the Monday night show, they didn't realize it would make more sense to put this on pay-per-view. Right there, Starrcade, 98.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan should have wrestled Goldberg. Hogan should have dropped it to Goldberg, and you know how big of a star that would have made Goldberg.
We'd still be talking about that moment.
That would have been the moment, and AEW could have done the same thing.
Yep.
But something tells me that come All In, you're going to have Ospreay versus Swerve.
I would agree
World
with
Championship. That's where they're going with this.
I would agree with that. But
let me ask you a question.
Thing. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Go ahead.
So when you look at the Bloodline and you look at the NWO, you look at the Four Horsemen. I'm talking about the Horsemen back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You would say, damn, I want to be a part of those groups. I'd like to be a part of the Four Horsemen.
Right.
I'd like to be part of the NWO. I'd like to be part of, Evolution or some shit. I want to be a part of these different factions, the Bloodline. I want to throw up the ones. There is nobody out there that wants to be part of this elite. Nobody. Nobody. This shit is a joke, bro. You wanted to be part of the Bullet Club when the Bullet Club was hot. The only time when the
still
Bucks
got
were
Bullet
hot,
Club shirts.
Correct. The only time when the Young Bucks were hot is when they're part of Bullet Club.
Yep.
All right. They expose themselves.
No, I agree.
It's just all a bunch. It's like, how do these guys, from a storyline perspective, how do these guys not get fired for assaulting the owner of the company? Why does Jack Perry, from a storyline perspective, still have a job? He's not an EVP.
Nope.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to download their intro video, and I'm going to put the Beverly Hills 90210 theme song to it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have instances like that.
Look at Takeshita complaining.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. The fact that the elite story overshadowed Swerve's win is something I'm still not good with.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
I'm still not good with that.
You're putting all this emphasis on this story. This is the main program, and you listen to the video I sent you the other day with Cornette and Brian Lass breaking it down. The lowest segments on the show was the Young Bucks. They come back after the Bucks are off TV.
Yeah, that's
even Jericho draws.
A lot of that too is probably just Young Bucks hate, but a lot of that is deserved too.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I'm producing a TV show, okay, I'm producing a television show, and I'm trying to get viewership for this show, and I know I have the TV rights coming up, and the upfronts are happening right now, and no one's even talking about my fucking show. Why am I not trying to put out the best product possible? What I'm trying to get up, trying to garner somebody to come watch my damn show, kind of bring people in. I mean, my God, how can I be Adam Copeland, and I used to wrestle in the WWE, the WWF, and I used to wrestle in front of 20,000 people, and now I'm fucking wrestling in front of 3,000. And they used to draw. AEW used to draw.
Yeah, but A lot of that too. A lot of that too is Cody was there.
It should, but see, okay, but it's not just all Cody. If Cody
It's
was there
not.
right now, it would still be the same shit would be happening. No doubt in my mind.
I'm not sure
Because they're
about that.
booking. No, it would be. Because Cody could probably have a say so on what he was doing.
Right.
But the buck stops with Tony Khan.
I agree with that.
So
And
that's
I
it
would,
was
I
gonna
would
be
venture
that
to
way.
say, I would venture to say that's why Cody left.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, but if you look at the product from when he was there to when he left, it's night and day, man. It's night and day, and it's like it in hindsight, I would say they butted heads on a lot of creative issues.
Yeah.
That's to me, looking at the product now, I would say Cody probably injected his voice on a ton of shit. And they were at odds at a lot of shit because
That
Cody
would
was not
probably-
cool with it.
I would venture to say that's probably what happened.
And it wasn't it was if Cody said it wasn't about the money, I would say he's probably telling you the truth.
So what do you think here about? Now I'm gonna tell you who's impressed the shit out of me. Two people that impressed me in the AEW women's division. Timeless Tony. Timeless Tony Storm. And Willow Nightingale.
I would say Willow Nightingale is probably the biggest women's star in the company right now.
And that's funny because she's out there with Mercedes, who still cannot cut a promo.
She did better last week, but Willow cooked her.
What's the okay? What's the deal here, though? I mean, Mercedes can act. Obviously, we saw her in The Mandalorian.
Yep.
But why can't she cut a promo?
I don't think she's. I think that is part of her character. It's regurgitate. Because last week she flipped the switch, and I think that's what it was. Regurgitate, make them annoyed, and then when it's time to flip the switch, she did. And she gave it, she went in, she gave it real, but she still got cooked.
Yeah.
Willow cooked her, and that speaks volumes. I was like, God damn, Willow's a star, bro. She is a star. I'm thoroughly impressed with Willow. And I'm gonna say something now. I think the TBS title in Willow's hands is better than it was in Jade's.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm going to go that far. I think she brought a level of relevance to it. I think she makes it feel important. And especially since she's going up against Mercedes, she makes it, I'm thinking this match is the one I want to see at Double or Nothing.
Why is she not a part of this elite faction?
I don't know.
She is the CEO, right?
She is the CEO.
So wouldn't she be aligned with the elite?
Should be.
Yeah. Oh, real quick before we wrap this up. Yeah. Men out there shouldn't beat women and lie about it. But
we're going there.
I will. No, we're not going to go there. I will let you and Mac handle that on the smoke pit.
We don't have Mac on the smoke pit. He's going to Phoenix, so we can hash this one if you want.
Okay. Well,
I didn't know we were going there, but we can go there.
Oh, I'm going to go there. So
we can go there.
You know, this guy here. First of all, I never liked Homeboy. All right, I never liked him. I was a Death Row supporter back in the day. All right,
staunch supporter,
staunch Death Row, exactly. West Side, West Coast. All right. So, had no issues with the Junior Mafia. just never liked Diddy. Never was a fan of Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew something was funny about Homeboy. And what really got me is his lack of taking care of Biggie's children. That got me.
That's a big
And
one.
how he screwed all his artists.
Yep.
There's no success story out of Bad Boy. None.
Nope.
So you couple that with the allegations originally made by Cassie about him. And he denied it. It said nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, somebody leaks this video, and we see him running down the hallway buck naked with a towel on and some flip flops with some footies. And he's such a big, tough, strong man. You're going to grab her and throw her down. You're going to kick her like a bitch. And you're going to stomp on her like a little pussy. And
bro, that video is
yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah.
It's
Homeboy,
disturbing.
your shit is done. Your fake ass apology video you did, you're done, homeboy. Put it like this. The feds don't come knocking at your fucking door unless they got a reason to be knocking at your door. They're looking for something. And I'm not sure what they found, but this tape here is damaging. And then the fact that old boy, his quote unquote drug mule, might be working with the feds. Yeah, Diddy got a lot to worry about right now. You saw the video of Diddy at this party where he's all paranoid and shit, looking around and shit. Okay? You should never put your hands on a woman like that. You never should have done that.
That it's tough to look at.
Yeah.
It's tough to look at.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel bad for her.
Right.
It makes me feel even worse that she tried to tell her truth, and the power that he had, he shut it down. Like that makes me feel terrible.
Yep.
For her. So I hope that she gets the justice that she deserves out of it. A lot of people owe her an apology.
Right. I think the statute of limitations actually ran out on that.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So,
and then he put out that apology, man. Like, goddamn.
I know everybody's making fun of it now. All these comedians come out with brand new content.
Like, bro, that's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, my heart went out to Cassie, man. And then there was a separate video of her like hiding under the sheet, and
yeah, I saw that too. Like, he's just a dirty motherfucker, man. Like, for real.
Like, no woman deserves that shit.
No,
like no woman deserves that.
Yeah,
and so. I kind of wish he did go to jail behind that shit, bro. Because I know he would get true they would fuck him up.
He needs it. That's the problem.
No, he does. He does.
He needs somebody to put their hands on his ass like he put on her.
No, for real shit, real spill. And the thing I try not to do is put myself like as a dad, because I would blow a fucking gasket. I would blow a fucking gasket. The whole town would have to burn behind some shit like that. You are never safe. Your life is never, ever going to be safe. If I'm near you, I'm going to try to find you. But yeah, man, it's a terrible, unfortunate situation. And even in the apology, he didn't tell her, like, he didn't say her name. Now, I heard that's because he can't. I heard that too. But regardless, man, if your intent was to actually apologize, like, you could have kept that shit off cam.
Yeah.
Like, because the whole world knows you ain't apologizing. You ain't apologizing because you're sorry. You apologizing because you got caught.
Hey, so what did you real quick before we wrap it up here? So, in your opinion, who won the battle, the rapper Kendrick or the pop star Drake?
Why are you asking me this question, man? All right. I didn't want to talk about this, actually. But since you asked, I am going to side with Kendrick on this one.
Absolutely.
I think he was more prepared for it.
Yep.
I think when Meet the Grams came out, like this was strategic. He strategized for this shit. He had counters for everything, right? Yep. Drake, he did his normal thing, which worked for him with Meek Mill. I got to give him credit though. I got to give Drake a lot of credit because I like.
Oh yeah, his ghostwriters did a lot of shit.
I'm not even gonna go that far. I'm gonna give him credit for what he did. Drake did really well in this battle because I like both guys. They both did really well. What this was is a win for rap because now you're less inclined to get that mumble rap bullshit, and people are starting to get back to actually making music. So this did a lot for rap, but I got to give Drake credit, man. The push-ups was fire. It just he was met with counters, man. The counters from Kendrick were like setups to like whatever you're gonna rap about. I'm gonna tell you, I know your angle, and he started with that. Like, I know your angle. I know everything you about to say. Go ahead, but just know if it gets personal, I have a nuclear weapon for you. And Drake did not heed the warning, and then it got nuclear. So regardless if any of this shit is facts or not, like the doubt was put in the mind, and then he hit him with a club banger, which nobody expected Kendrick to do. So
I think honestly that this was the worst thing that could happen to Drake.
Oh no, most definitely.
And people and the reason I brought this up is because I was scrolling here and I saw this untalented little Yachi who did the theme song for the reboot of Saved by the Bell, which was fucking terrible. It says here, Little Yachi responds to Drake's beef with Kendrick Lamar. Drake dropped great records. Drake was deemed a loser in this battle before it started. People don't like him because he's won for a very long time. And he's at the top of the throne. And honestly, he's still at the top of the throne. Drake is a pop star cosplaying as a rapper. That's what he is.
Let me say this because I don't want it to feel like I'm hating. I had this battle even before Meet the Grams came out. Actually, I had Drake winning it before Meet the Grams came out. Once Meet the Grams came out, shit was over, bro. You had no more firepower. Like, and that's what it felt like when he dropped his next record. It was like, I'm going hard. I'm gonna hit you with this big one. But he was getting matched along the way. And that's what lost him the battle. Because once Kendrick dropped once Meet the Grams came out, you couldn't counter that shit, bro. You can't counter it. So he did the Hard Part 6, and it felt like a bow out because you got hit with a back-to-back. So I don't want that. I don't want that to be misconstrued. It wasn't like he got washed. He lost, and the ending of it was bad, but this was a good battle. It really was a good battle.
Yeah, see, I'm more inclined for myself personally. I'm always gonna stick with what I know, which was, hit 'em up, no Vaseline, real motherfucking G's, ether, shit like that. But but Kendrick did the same. And anything to get Aubrey from the Degrassi, and that's not, and I'm not a hater at all. I don't listen to any of the shit. I don't listen to it.
I listen to
it. It's not me. I don't listen to this bullshit. I just know what I see, and what I seen is I see Kendrick, who's from Compton, go out there doing his thing against some maple syrup Canuck. So there you go.
Wow. Oh, wow. But that's what he said. He rather do
What did
that
The Rock
than
say
let a
back in the day?
Canadian.
What did The Rock say back in the day? You maple syrup sucking candy asses.
Yep. You mother Canuckers.
Mother Canuckers, exactly. So Kendrick was not going to lose to no Canuck. It don't matter if you move to Houston or not. You ain't Trio.
But no, that's what he hit him on so many layers, man.
Yeah.
It's layered. Like you can go listen to the Kendrick songs again. You can listen to this is like the anthem of the summer, really. Like you can listen to all 9 of these tracks and be like, damn, they really did some really great music. So and that's what I like about it.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, Kendrick was up, and I'm pretty sure he was getting fit. Somebody was probably feeding him what Drake was about to talk about, so he had a comeback for it. He put shit out too quick.
Yeah. Like 30 minutes, bro. 30 minutes. Right. Like he knew it was coming out. All right, I'll give him 30 minutes. But that's what he alluded to on one of the songs. He was like, listen, bro, I got people working in your camp feeding me information. Want to know how I know? Here you go.
Right.
So, but again, dope battle. It was a dope battle.
Right.
I got a feeling we'll come back to it in the summer too. And then we'll see the end of Drake.
We will see. Absolutely.
All right, man. Final thoughts. What you got?
Final thoughts is let me get some good Star Wars stories and Aunt Jemima back on that syrup.
Fuck Aunt Jemima. We don't need her.
Please.
Let her go. That wasn't her real name anyway.
That's what you would say.
We didn't need it. We did not.
So I say that.
All right. So, Fallen Star Friday, this Friday, we do have the team going out to Phoenix, Mac, Jen from the Queens, EJ. They're going to be meeting some people out in Phoenix. They'll be doing the Phoenix Fan Fusion, getting content from that. So we may do a solo Smoke Pit show Friday. Looking at my availability, so I should be available.
You're a big corporate executive. Let me check my availability.
Let me look at what we got.
Pit. Yeah, let me see what I have in my Palm Pilot.
Yeah, we'll probably do a solo episode of the Smoke Pit, just to keep some content rolling. Prove Me Wrong is coming back, the sports show. That'll be back tomorrow. What else we got? We got this weekend AEW Double or Nothing, 5 years. King Queen of the Ring. We'll be looking at that. Probably come back with a report from it. So we got some stuff coming down the pipeline, man. Stay tuned to the network. Again, dfpn.com. Make sure you guys go to the website. Look at the content that we have. Every show on the network has their own specific page. So you can go check out our show. You can check out Smoke Pit. You can check out Queens of Nerdum, USDN. All the shows update as soon as we drop them to the public. So please stay tuned to dfpn.com. We do have live streams when we're not Patreon only. We do have live streaming to the network. So make sure you go check that out when we're outside the pay window. There is a way for you to watch us on the website. Comment on the website. Leave your thoughts. Just come hang out with us, man. Just tune into the website. Make sure you tapped into DFPN and all the other platforms, Facebook, Twitter, IG. Like there's so many avenues that we're coming from now. It's crazy. And since we're Patreon only tonight, I can't report this because we are in the beginning stages of the DFPN app. So I just started working on putting the app together. That way, you know, we can have the website, have our own app. You can take us on the go, have all of our podcasts and shows, interact that way as well. So we're working on that as well, man. But very busy summer, very big stuff going. Make sure you guys stay tapped into us. So that's all I got, man.
All right. Well, hey, you know something? Frank D is going to say this. Don't forget, help control the pet population. Have those pets spayed or neutered. And also remember, it's getting hot outside.
Yes.
So don't be walking your dog on the pavement because you would not want someone walking you barefoot. You feel me?
Yep. And
so
with
other than that, remember to give yourself to the dark side of the force.
You have options, people. Come on. You know that.
They have no options.
That's something a sip for say.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. But anyway, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, y'all be easy and enjoy what you want to enjoy. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks.